Upper body session today with build. We're starting off using a towel with our dumbbell today. So you're going to want to find yourself a fairly long, fairly thin towel that you can tie around the handle. If you don't have that, you could use a backpack like we have done in the past. But I would recommend a towel because the way you're going to grip onto it will really get the forearms and the biceps going. Making sure you tie the towel onto the dumbbell, you don't just wrap it around, and this is going to make sure that towel stays on. If you just wrap it, we have found that the dumbbell will roll off and drop onto your floor, so you don't want to do that. Now, starting it off with a pulling superset, we're going to go upright row. So using that towel, pulling up towards your chin, getting those elbows higher than your wrists. Again, towards max reps, so until you can't pull it all the way up, until you begin to get failure with your muscles. Then you're going to go straight into a bent over row. Again, holding onto the towel and going into a bent over position. Now, the nice thing about having the towel is you can kind of wrap your hands around your body and then really get a good squeeze at the top with each one. So trying to contract your back as much as you can. And again, taking the fatigue from the upright row into the bent over row and going to failure with that bent over row. Next, we're going to go into a bicep curl, still using the towel with our dumbbell. You're going to want to make sure your palms are facing up this time. And we're going to start in a neutral position at the bottom. And then as we curl, we're going to rotate our hands out and get a really good squeeze at the top of each one. Taking it again to failure, so max reps on every one. A nice slow controlled tempo so you don't get any swing with that dumbbell. And I would make sure you hold a different end of the towel each time, just in case it is a little bit uneven the way the dumbbell is hanging off the towel. Next up, we've got push-ups. Now, regular push-ups, but I want your hands nice and close together, just below your shoulders and elbows tucked to the side. So you're working on keeping your form perfect throughout these. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to do a max rep set to failure. So until you can no longer do any more reps, make sure you count how many you've done, because then you're going to accumulate 200% of that max rep set. So if you get 30 reps on your max rep set, you're then going to accumulate another 60 reps. After the max rep set, you're going to rest 1 minute and then you can start your accumulation. Now, the goal is to do a max rep set every time. Obviously, that's going to get smaller as you fatigue more, and you're resting 1 minute after each max rep set. So accumulate 200% of the max set in as few sets as possible. Next, we're going to do a lateral raise. Now, we're trying to hit that side delt, that small muscle. Now, to do this, you need to really focus on what you're doing and not just swing the dumbbell back and forth. So you're trying to make a contraction, really trying to feel that muscle working. Now, chances are you've got a dumbbell that's too heavy to get a good controlled lateral raise in. If it is light enough, great, go do normal lateral raises. If not, we're going to do a 1/2 range of motion. So just the bottom half of the range of motion today instead of trying to go all the way up, and that's going to stop you swinging that weight and having bad form. You're going to want to lean into a wall or hold onto an object because the weight is going to be fairly heavy, so you're not leaning back the opposite way. And then you're just focusing on that bottom half of the range of motion and getting that side delt to do the work and lift that weight out to the side. Nice controlled reps. You're going to failure. No need to rest on this one. So as soon as you go on failure on one side, you match it, you go failure on the other side, and you keep going back and forth for the 3 sets. And to finish off the shoulders, we're going to do a front raise. So standing tall, raising that dumbbell out to the front, using those front delts to lift that dumbbell. You don't want to swing it, you don't want to lean back. You want to really focus on nothing lifting it but those front delts. And just like usual, take that to failure, rest a minute between sets.